recording too, right?
Yes.
And hi everyone, welcome to Tech Down Over. I'm Rick Zanani and I'm joined today by Harold Muliati. We are doing a show, but we're really also testing our compression settings on vMix because we noticed that our shows were coming out at 5 gigabytes. That's a little big. That's like uncompressed RAW. That's almost like a motion JPEG file. 5 gigs for half-hour shows is a bit much. So anyway, we are running a test right now with us, and we're going to talk about a couple of things while we're at it. Harold.
Yes.
You seem a little dark today.
Am I?
But it could be my monitor, which is a little off. While Harold's looking at that.
I mean, it looks okay on my monitor.
Are you okay on your end?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're sort of pending a replacement of one of our monitors here because we're kind of looking at different things here.
Yeah, the monitor I've got in front of me is actually a different one from the ones that he has in front. He has the same model.
Yeah, we have.
But it looks like two different versions of it, and I've got a totally different model, which is pretty washed out. They're all Asus, but they're different types of Asus monitors. So we have two at home that are like this one, like his. So we're going to bring them in and swap. Excuse me. So anyway. There's been a lot of talk on the internet. That's been all everybody's been talking about in the photo place. The Panasonic SR and SR.
The S1 and the S1R.
S1 and S1R. It looks like a good camera. It looks like a very good photo camera. It looks like a pretty decent video camera. There's some oddnesses to it, but we'll see. My biggest gripe is actually the Leica mount. Why they went with Leica of all things is beyond me. Not a most popular mount, and frankly, if you go with Leica lenses, they're extremely expensive. So it doesn't make a lot of sense from that point of view. If they're targeting a niche, very high-end photo market, I don't know how many people are going to be willing to buy $4,000 or $5,000 50mm lenses from Leica. They're probably good, but are they that good? I probably don't think so. I've seen video results from Leica and others, and they're nice, but is it that much better? No. Mind you, it's all subjective and it's in the eye of the beholder, but I do wonder about that. Sigma is going to come out with the L mount again. Not sure that was all that important. I would have gone with a Canon mount, frankly. What do you think, Harold? What would you have gone with?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know how it works with licensing the different mounts and stuff. Maybe it's possible they tried to do a Canon mount. I mean,
well, nobody in their right mind would have licensed the Leica mount, so therefore that was cheap, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Canon one would be the obvious one since a lot of people have lenses for that mount.
Maybe they're the most likely to
maybe
probably
it was harder for them
to
to get.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, and Canon people may be more likely to switch. Hard to say, because Panasonic does have a not great reputation when it comes to focus. Well-deserved not great reputation. And before you send me nasty notes about Panasonic, we own two GH5s. We've had GH4s. We've had GX8s. We have the G9. We've got the GH5S. We've had Panasonic camcorders. We've had a lot of Panasonics, and they're good. But sometimes focus can be not so good, especially in autofocus. Well, manual focus is fine. They make great cameras. I'll tell you, the ergonomics on the GH5, the 9, and the GH5S are excellent. They're as good or better than any Canon. And that's saying quite a bit, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. They definitely feel really good in the hand. Of course, just one small thing being on the G9. I don't know why they decided to put the power switch right on the front there. So when you're when you have it in a camera bag, if it jostles around a little bit, it can actually accidentally turn on very easily.
And it does sometimes. It's happened to me where I've arrived with no battery life on a long flight, and somehow it got squished a bit under the seat or in the overhead, and it's a dumb place to put it because they always have it usually where your thumb has to hit it. This one you have to do it with your forefinger or your index finger. And it is so easy to pop to the right. It just was a bad location. It's right where your shutter release is.
So if you have a G9 and you have to bring it a long distance, you should probably just leave the battery out until you get there.
Might be safer. But that was a bad choice. It really was, because it makes it way too easy to trigger that. That's one of our nits. And we don't have that many nits with the G9. It really is a great camera. When you do things with it, it is as stable as being on a gimbal. I mean, I to this day, I've had it almost a year, and I'm still surprised at how stable it is with any kind of movement, panning. Wow, it's just nice. I'm trying to get this over my shoulder. I put in one ear of my earbuds just to test something.
And I mean, the color comes out of camera. Like out of camera, the color looks really good as long as you get the balance right.
Yep.
And you know, we've made some prints off of photos from the G9. They come out nice.
Yeah, even in low light, it looks pretty good. Some people have complained it's not very good at low light. With their dual ISO, it actually looks pretty darn good in low light. Yeah, you can't go up to like 25,000 or 100,000. No, it doesn't have that. But you can easily go past 6,400 and still have a pretty good image. I think the ones I took were only at about 1,800, maybe 3,200 at night, and they look good.
Yeah.
We made posters out of, a 24 by 36 poster, and it wasn't noisy. I mean, it looked pretty clean. So we can't complain too much about that. So that's one thing that's coming out. It'll be interesting to see what happens. They have no real great lens selection to begin. You could, I suppose, I guess Metabones or someone else will come out with lens converters, which should be able to adapt Canon, Nikon, maybe other lenses to it.
I think...
Don't know.
I may be wrong, but I think Sigma is making a inverter.
Maybe.
I forget which mounts they're doing the conversion to, but yeah.
But they're also coming out with the actual L mount lenses.
Yeah, they are.
It is sort of funny. By the way, it's a big camera. If you look at it compared to the GH5 and the G9, it's more like a Canon 5DSR or even maybe a 1DX. It's a big camera, the S1 and S1R. So it definitely is not going to be small, and it's still a mirrorless camera. So much for the theory that mirrorless has to be small. It doesn't. Now, I don't mind big cameras. I know Harold has a 5DSR. I don't think he minds big cameras either.
Oh, no. I love that thing.
They're nice. They're heavy to a point, but they're also very stable. I think one of the reasons we have so many problems with stability is because the cameras are too light nowadays. So you have a light camera and you have a shaky hand. That's a bad combo. It just really isn't the best of combos on earth. So heavy is good sometimes. And frankly, the big lenses really do take in more light usually than the small ones, only because they're bigger. But it's interesting. We'll see what happens with that, and it'll be a good camera to look at. It's expensive. I don't know. It's $2,500 for the SR, I think, or S1, and the body? S1R is the big one, right? That's the 47 megapixel.
S1R, yeah, and the S1 is the sort of
24 megapixel.
Yeah.
So that, and then when the one's at 2,500, the other one is at 3,400. That's pretty expensive. So you're competing against tried and true players at a pretty high end price for a full frame camera. They are higher than everybody at this point. So I'm not sure that's a wise move. Time will tell.
I mean, Panasonics are pretty popular, so they do, I think, have... But then again, a lot of people use them, primarily for video, and you don't necessarily need it's not necessarily going to be a step up to get a full frame just for video.
No, maybe the 24 pixel one, the S1, but the S1R... That's a lot. You're going to have to crop the sensor somehow.
That's mainly going to be for photo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be nice. I'll tell you, all the Panasonic pictures we've ever taken with the GH5, the G9, they look great. And we have good lenses too. Now, mind you, if you have slow lenses and you're on a Micro Four Thirds, you're not going to get quite the quality as if you have fast lenses, because they will let more light in and they have a little more sharpness, a lot of them. They're also about 3 times more expensive than the cheap lenses, but there are some good Panasonic lenses that are like the 15 millimeter or the 17 millimeter. They're really nice lenses that are good. We recently bought the Olympus 7 to 14 millimeter. That is a gorgeous lens. It is absolutely amazing. Now, mind you, if you're shooting something far in the distance, you probably won't get the detail of a bigger zoom lens or a bigger prime lens, but still, it makes for beautiful landscapes and beautiful building shots, architectural type shots. It's an incredible lens. But then again, that's a $1,200 lens. $1,300, I think it was $1,200. It's not a cheap lens, so you're going to pay quite a bit for that quality lens. But you can get some $400 lenses that are really good on Panasonic. There's a $400 50 millimeter that's excellent. There's the, I think, 15 millimeter that's also very, very good. I said 50. It's really a 25 millimeter, which is equivalent to 50 millimeter. So we will see what happens with what they're doing and all that. It is definitely going to be interesting. So I'm playing a little bit of music here and there as we go, just to add more content to see how big these compressed files are.
Yeah.
How many minutes have we been recording so far?
We are at 11 and a half.
11 and a half.
Oh, let's see what we've got on our studio camera right now.
It goes so slow.
So you can see right now that we've changed out our lights since we last showed the studio cam. We've got our light storms back up. We were using, before on our light storms, we were actually using diffusers from another light, and we took them off, and we think that it's actually looking a bit better now.
Yep. And that shot's pretty dark. It's not showing a lot.
No, it's mostly getting the back of the light,
right?
which is back.
We have to redo that shot. We're going to redo parts of the studio in the near future too, just to keep it changing. We're always looking for a different angle or something else to do, so it's kind of fun. So I'm going to take this thing off. There. What I'm doing is having it fall off my shoulder, so right there. So I just lost my mic. Hello. My mic just came. No, it didn't. Here it is. Okay, sorry about that. Now, mics. A lot of people ask what kind of mics we're using. Well, Harold just switched to the DPA ear set microphone.
Let's see, I've actually got the case here as well I can show. Yeah, so I've got the DPA case there, and this is the...
And the DPA comes with a little vanity mirror in it. Did you ever notice that?
Oh, well, let me show that.
There's a little vanity mirror in the case, so I guess when you put it on, you can look at yourself and go, man, I'm gorgeous.
So you can see kind of reflecting the light right back at the viewer right now, so that's probably not pleasant. But you could see that was a mirror.
It's interesting they put that in there.
Yeah. Nice little touch, I mean.
It's different. Yeah. And so he's on the DPA ear set. I am on the Countryman. Here's the case for that one if you want to see a case. It's probably upside down.
No, that, oh, well, yes, upside down, but
there we go. That's
showing the logo.
So this is the Countryman E6. Countryman, I believe, is owned by Shure. And this is what that one looks like. You can put a little windsock on it, but it's so small and it comes off so easily, I don't even bother. It doesn't add that much because it's slightly behind the mouth anyway. You're not going to get pee-pops. But very nice headset or ear set microphones. Why are they ear sets? Let me show you. They hang over your one ear. They are very, very, very light. And it's amazing the kind of sound you get out of these. This one is going right now through the Aphex 230. I'm sorry, the Aphex Studio channel, which is the newer version of the 230. And Harold's right now is going through the PreSonus Studio channel.
Yes.
So we've got both the mics going through compressors, limiters, and gates. And they do a pretty good job of making these teeny-weeny little mics sound good. And again, the nice thing about this mic is if I turn around and I'm looking at something over here and I'm talking, I come back, I look over there. What am I looking for? Who knows?
And you can still hear him.
And it doesn't change. It doesn't give you proximity effect. Whereas with a real mic, as you get closer, it's a trombone effect. It gets really loud, it gets really low, really loud, really low. Even lavalier mics, when you have it here, as you turn, you're missing, the audio is going up into your ear. So it's not going to record anything much.
Are you saying these ear sets aren't real mics? You're going to hurt their feelings. They're all here. You know, we've even got the HS1 here.
That's true. They're real mics, but they're very quiet mics. And again, you don't get that mic issue with proximity effect, which is pretty good. Because if you did, believe me, you'd really notice it. So, let's see, what else is in the news right now? The Panasonic seems to be on everybody's podcast. They had an event in Barcelona. I would have loved to have gone to Barcelona. That would have been beautiful. But we didn't get invited. I did get invited to one Panasonic event in LA, and I had to cancel last moment, so they'll probably never invite me again.
Yeah, you hurt their feelings?
I hurt their feelings. No, I couldn't make it, and it was at 3, 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon in LA traffic. I would have to leave Thursday to get there, and it's an hour away. It's just bad traffic. Our traffic at 5 o'clock on a Friday is not something humans really want to be involved with if they can avoid it. It's
I think
bad.
we're a little loud on that music channel. Maybe turn that down a bit.
There we go. How's that? I can't hear it. Oh,
no,
this one here. Here we go.
Yeah. They're about there. Good.
Okay. So we can turn that sound off. Let's put something else on, a little rowdier. Okay. So anyway, are we at about 15 minutes yet?
We are at 17 minutes.
17 minutes. So we got 13 more minutes to say things.
Yeah.
What else have we been talking about internally, externally?
Let's see.
We did talk about this briefly, but I am using right now the Akai. What's this one called?
That is the APC-40 Mark II. Mark II, yeah.
Now they have a new one, I think, that's sort of replacing this one. But this is a MIDI controller, and we're using this to control all our sound effects and things like that, music and sound effects. It's kind of a cool...
and it is designed for use with Ableton Live, and it actually comes with Ableton Live Lite, which we're using right now to play the music. That's what we've been using to bring in music and sound effects.
Yeah.
And they give you, whatever newer version of Ableton Live Lite that comes out. Like right now we're on 10, that's the latest.
I think this official was 9, right, of Ableton?
Well, yeah. I mean, when we got this, it was Ableton 9, but they give you the newer one.
Right, which is nice. Well, it's expensive. This costs almost like $800 for Ableton.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I've done a lot of audio editing, but Ableton was hurting my head. It's not the normal audio editing look and feel.
Well, it's for it's kind of like for...
It's really for this kind of music and MIDI type.
It's for doing DJ stuff.
It is. It's a nice editor. It does everything, but it's a little interesting. I'm used to Adobe Audition. I use that a lot. Now, Rode just came out with some new... No, is it Rode? Rode does have some new microphones that they put out to work with the RODECaster, which is their little podcasting box, which we have.
Right.
Maybe in the box below, take a look at we'll put a link to that one. Take a look at our RODECaster video. That was kind of fun. And I don't know can you go to the Rode site and see what the new mics are? They're little flat mics. They're cheap, but they're specifically built for those quick, they're dynamics,
Let's bring it up. Let's see. Let me bring up the Rode site.
And Blue has the Blue Ember, which is also a teeny mic that's really cool, under $100.
Okay, what are they talking about? They are talking about a contest, but where are your new mics?
Well, actually, go to microphones. Let's see. Are they announcing it here?
I'm not seeing...
And they're supposedly very small, very flat. Take a look at mics and see what they have on like broadcast or podcast.
Well, let's see. What are these? They say they have a thing about the pod mic.
Oh, maybe that's what they're talking about.
Pod
mic?
Pod mic, and they have something about the NTSF1, which is, it's like a omnidirectional microphone.
Yeah, these may be the new ones, right?
I haven't seen this NTSF1.
No.
I'm not sure about.
And I'm not sure about the pod mic either.
They say it's all new, so I guess that's a new one. It says it's optimized for use with RODECaster Pro.
Yeah.
It's very small.
Which one's that? The pod mic?
Yeah.
How much are those? It's probably sub 100, right?
Let's see how much.
And I think it's a dynamic mic.
They don't say on here.
And then if you go to another site, go to the Blue Microphone site.
Yeah, let's see. Blue microphones. Let me bring it up in just a second here. So,
Blue came out with one called the Blue Ember. It's really small. I like the name. It's so small.
Yeah, this is the ad for it right here. Blue Ember.
It is a cool
Well, they don't
mic.
show up much of a size comparison, so let's see if they show someone holding it.
I was watching musiccreative.com and they were showing the Blue Ember. It sounds absolutely great. First he played it without any processing, and it sounded good. And then he processed it, and wow, it sounded great.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot thinner than.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic, I think.
It says condenser.
Oh, it's condenser? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Blue Ember.
Very cool little mic. Sub $100. I don't know if it's $90 or $75. I'm not sure.
This one, it says $100.
$100. So it's probably 99 or something.
$99.99.
Yeah, 99 and sub $100. Yes, I love marketing.
Well, you leave out the 1 cent and you have the perfect tool for tightening a quick release plate on a tripod.
That's right.
Onto a camera. It only costs you 1 cent. It's the perfect tool.
Yep. So anyway, these are two mics that just came out. The Blue Ember, which I think is really cute because they have all the other blue baby bottles and everything else, and the Ember, the little Ember. And then, of course, the Rode, what was it called? Rode Pod Mic? Pod Mic.
There's the Pod Mic, and then there's the NT, actually, what was that? It was NTS1, I think. SF1. NTSF1. And it's a funny looking thing.
That may be like the one of the ones we have, which is really not so much of a voice as it is for special effects and things.
I believe it's for getting ambient sound.
So that's just like the one we have, which is the what was it called? Video Mic X, Pro X or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a really strange, it's like a half dome mic. It looks like a geodesic dome, but it has really good sound. You could use it for voice, but it's really built to capture ambient sounds all around you. And it does a wonderful job in that too. It's a great mic for that.
Yeah, you could. I suppose you could use it when you go to England. Go to an authentic English pub and capture all the sounds and profanities around.
That's true. Actually, I am going to England in about 2 days. And we'll be there for 7 days. We're going to a trade show. We didn't really want to be there that long, but I guess it's a good thing. We haven't been to London ever, so it's a good thing to go a little longer. But they make you kind of go longer because they charge you a lot more if you don't stay 7 days. The airplane rates are humongous. As it is, we went on British Airways, and we are in premium coach. I call it rat class with cheese. So they probably give you a little to eat. Rat class gets nothing, and our rat class gets a little bit more. We tried to get business upgrades, but they were $4,000 per person round trip. That's a lot of money for business. And we normally fly American, but American didn't have that many flights to England, and 3/4 of the flights they had were going through British Airways, and you couldn't select seats. So we went, oh no. So we just went direct to British Airways, but as a result, you lose out on all the features you get with American, which is, when you're traveling, any feature you can get to make it more comfortable is worth it. So we are truly traveling rat class. It'll be fun.
And you're going to be on the Airbus.
We are on the Airbus A380, the flying soccer field. It is about as big as a 747 with one difference. It's wider, and I believe it has 2 full stories.
Which I was joking with Rick earlier. You know, of course, he's going to England, so it's got to be a double-decker plane.
It's a double-decker plane. That's correct. Well, it is an Airbus, which England is one of the Airbus makers.
Yeah.
What is it? Germany, France, and England. Yep. It should be a fun experience. That thing is huge. We're on the 2nd floor going. I don't know what floor we're on coming back, but so I guess we have a floor with a bigger view, a little higher view. Don't know. I don't mind flying, but I don't enjoy flying like I used to. When I was younger, I flew everywhere. I had thousands of flights. Now, if I can avoid flying, I do. I'm not afraid of flying. I don't like going through all the hassles. It's just such a pain to fly nowadays.
Well, and then you get sick people on board, and it's like it's a sealed cabin.
Screaming kids.
Yeah.
That's always charming. And they're usually right behind you.
You get the big director next to you on his phone.
Yeah, I've had one of those. I've also had King Kong and his wife next to me on one of those. Oh gosh, it was a husband and wife couple. I think they were both about 6'3" or 6'4". They were huge, but also huge this way. And I'm on a 747. I thought I was smart. This happened 35 years ago almost. I thought I was smart. I said, I've got the emergency door on a 747. I should have a lot of leg room. Oh, I had a lot of leg room. It was about 25 feet to the next row of seats in front of us. But the window from the door comes about this far into your seat. So you're looking at a window the whole time. You can touch the window the whole time. You can't take out your food tray unless it goes under the window. It's not fun. And I had these 2 gargantuan people both coming near me. I was like, oh no. Now, mind you, I'm 6'2", and 210, 20 pounds at the time. And I'm thinking, I'm big enough. I'm okay. And they were coming. I go, no, not here. No. Right next to me. Arms out. I literally had her arms on me there was no place to move. The flight was booked. It was charming. Food time was great. It was absolutely miserable. I don't think I ate anything. I couldn't get my tray out. I had the gargantuans next to me, and oh my gosh, it was miserable. So, yeah, flights like that I don't enjoy. That's why I like flying American. They give you upgrades, and we've been platinum or whatever we are on them, so we get enough miles, and they're decent. But this won't be fun. 10.5 hours on hopefully a comfy flight. I heard premium coach is pretty comfy. So, and I don't care if they feed us because it's an overnight flight, so we're going to be sleeping, I hope. So anyway, how many minutes have we gone?
We are at 28 minutes right
28.
now.
So we're going to go for 2 more minutes. We'll put some outro music to get us getting close to out. All right, so we'll keep this a little bit lower. And Harold will be taking us out soon because, again, this is really more of an experiment. You're just sharing our experiment. Lucky you, right? Anybody there? Hello? You think they all stayed or left?
Maybe they're all watching Wrapped. They're going to see what happens in these final 2 minutes.
In rapture.
Yes.
So anyway, there is a show this Friday. I won't be there, but Harold will be there with Jeff Blanchard.
Yeah.
Jeff Blanchard from well, he's English, but he lives in Australia, Melbourne.
And
I think we're about done.
Well, let's see. So we're on the final minute of our journey from 5 gigs to 700 megs.
Yeah, something went wrong. I think in one of our upgrades, and it reset our output settings, and we've been outputting shows at 5 gigabytes a half-hour show. 5. It's insane. So now we're back to, I think, nice tight compression of about 300 megabytes.
And it's still, I mean, it looks great still. It looks better, I think, than YouTube's compression so far. All right, well, let's run the outro, and we will see you guys later this week. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching, if you're watching. Bye-bye. All right. Bye, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.